Okay. So welcome to the Embodied Feminine um, Collective. And one of the things that I said specifically, and you might remember this in the on the website about the Embodied Feminine Collective, is that it's time to reclaim the sacred magic and power of your divine feminine energy so you can thrive in every area of your life and become the woman you are born to be. It is time to experience a more pleasurable, flowing, easeful, and nourishing way of living your life and manifesting your dreams and your desires. And I'm here to show you how. So, in that, and let's see, I'm going to tune into you for a second, Britt, because you're here and the other women aren't here live. And okay, so there are two things. One of those is part of this reclaiming, part of this reclamation. And we are very, very, very aware of it, of what is happening in our world today, is that things have to rupture. And in the book, Pussy, which I love, Mama Gina talks about this rupture, right? And like what happens in the rupture and why we rupture and how we rupture. And rupture can be anything from a heartbreak to a child not being well and needing more attention. And it could be anything happening, loss of a job, rupture. Rupture is when something breaks, okay? And even if it is a break in your routine, or even if it is a child graduating and leaving the house, right? Like there are lots of different reasons and lots of different times in our lives that rupture takes place. Divorce is rupture, right? And we know that that's something that Whitney has been experiencing currently, right? Divorce, death of a loved one, loss of a job, even transitioning in like doing something one way with a job in one place. Even if you know, even if we know, right? Like this is what's best. When divorce comes, we do it because usually we've decided that this is the best thing to do, but it doesn't mean it's easy. It's still painful. There's still loss. There's still stuff that comes up. You know, catastrophe, world problems, war, fire, rape. We have the Epstein files that are surfacing. It's everywhere, right? Like we are in a place where we're experiencing rupture, rupture in our world, rupture in our own personal worlds. So the world around us and then the world within. And here's what we know about rupture as well is like sometimes the I put something wonderful that throws our lives into change. Okay. Even giving birth can be rupture, right? Relocating or anything that we know that there's something good on the other side. It falls in alignment with clearing and cleansing and letting go and like making space. There's a card in the tarot card and it's called the Tower card. And if you've ever seen the Tower card, I'm going to let Jen in. Hi,
Hi.
Jen.
Sorry, I might have to put you on hold but it's been one of those mornings where it's like it's thrown everybody off, you know? So people are showing up late or not showing up or all of the
Okay. Okay. Well, we're recording, so you can always come back to it.
Okay, I love
Um,
it.
yes, so I'm just going to carry on. We're talking about rupture. And rupture being anything from like, divorce, a kid graduating and going to college. It could be the loss of a job or starting a new job. It could be even birth of a new baby. Rupture, anytime something, anytime literally anything happens within our own personal world or the world around us that creates change and a massive change. Um, it ruptures us, it breaks us, it causes us to feel uncomfortable. And what it's really doing is it's preparing us for the reclamation, to reclaim something new. And so, as we're in this embodied feminine, to truly, truly give ourselves the opportunity to reclaim, we have to experience that rupture. So, initially, where I was thinking about going today is pretty big and intense. And I'm curious if, as I'm just sitting with this and listening to myself in this moment, I'm curious if maybe we're going to pin that and perhaps we still do this on a Thursday, perhaps we do it on a Sunday. And maybe it could be like in the next couple of weeks, instead of us meeting on a Thursday, we do it on a Sunday. And then if you all need to like cry and release and let your bodies really get rid of what we need to get rid of, I want to speak to what's happening in the world today, with women in general and the women in our own lives, our own experiences, and then all of the women that have come before us, and in prayer for the divine feminine to rise. In order for the divine feminine to truly, truly, truly rise, there's a big rupturing that's taking place. And unfortunately, each of us women have experienced some type of unwanted sexual experience or abuse. Well, even if it's verbal abuse, the way that we've been talked to by men, the way that we've been disregarded, the way that we've been, how many times, oh yes, Whitney's here. How many times have we had an experience? And I think I gave this example yesterday at the turn or at the Valentine's lunch. Like, how many times have you even just had like a guy walk by and grab your ass? You know, it's like, that's actually not okay. Never okay. Could you walk by and put your hand on his dick and like that be okay? I mean, he might like it. But the point is, it's like there are that we, if we were to go back, if we weren't as sensitized, we're so desensitized to this because it happens all the time. In fact, I was talking to a girlfriend last week and we were at Lake Effect and there was a guy, it was not okay. In fact, after another guy friend of ours came over and he's like, that guy was groping you and that's not okay. And my girlfriend was like, oh, that happens all the time. So, this conversation that's happening in our world today is also a conversation that is happening in our internal world, but it's also going back to our ancestors and the women that came before us that have just been taking it and taking it. Or even if they have not wanted to take it, they haven't been brave enough to speak it or to use their voice. And now it's all coming out. It's all coming out. So, there's a big rupture that's happening in the world, but also in our internal world. And so, just in the spirit of Jen being at the office, Brittany starting her day with like feeling really awesome. I see the sun peeking out through my window today. I'd like to offer an opportunity for us to take a Thursday, and instead of meeting together on that Thursday, us doing it maybe on a Sunday, and we'll get on and we'll have no makeup on and we'll just come as we are and we'll do some toning and some screaming and some big cleansing and clearing of our voice, and our throat chakras. And also, wow, right in me, just like it's happening. And even like allowing us to get into our bodies and really figure out and find out where so fascinating, where in our bodies we're holding some of this energy, and just release it and let it go and just literally let the body do what the body wants to do, to release and rupture and break and just get it all out. And I want to do it for us. I want to do it for our girls, and I want to do it for the women who came before us. So if you're okay with this, I'm gonna pivot this, and we're still gonna do it. But would it work if we decided like in a week or so to not do it on the Thursday unless you want to get wild at work, Jen? and do it there, but it might not, you might feel like you would want to like hold back a little bit. But let's do that. It's a big piece and it's a big part of us honoring what's happening because this is big. It's really, really big. How's everybody feeling about that? Okay, I see Jen's head nodding, which is
Yeah,
great.
I like it. I think that's a great idea.
Okay, let's do that. That's just, and this is what I love about the Embodied Feminine Collective. This is what we get to do as women. I've got I was telling Brett, I've got the structure of these modules and I'm feeling called for us to have this conversation now, this reclamation, which is usually kind of later in the 12-week program, but it's active and it's alive in the world. And so this is how we get to be in our femininity is we honor what's here in front of us right now, just like with our cycles and things like that. So instead, let's talk about pleasure because pleasure is so empowering. And I want to talk about turn on, and I want to talk about your pussy, and I want to talk about you giving yourself the opportunity to connect with your physical body for empowerment. Okay? Connecting to your physical body for empowerment. And I want to be aware and sensitive to where everyone is in this, but from what I know about each of you women, which is why I really felt called for you three to be the three that are in this group. Um, you're all comfortable with the word pussy, and you're also all comfortable with touching your bodies and being connected to your body. And so I want to encourage that because, there's no greater way to take the energy of what's happening right now and instead of shutting down and collapsing, to just feel yourself with you and doing whatever feels good for you in the most consensual way, the most consensual way. And talking about consent specifically um, with ourselves and not making it about someone else, not making it about anyone else. It's this today, this conversation is about no one else except for you. So let's talk about the things that turn us on. Does that feel good? Let's talk about the things that bring us pleasure. Let's talk about the things that are just like juicy and yummy and sensual and like feel good in the spirit of Valentine's and Galentine's and giving to ourselves. Okay. So, when we talk about pleasure on a scale of 0 to 10, okay, on a scale of 0 to 10, personally, I just want to hear from you. What number? 10 would be like the highest, okay? 0 is obviously the lowest. On a scale of 0 to 10, how comfortable are you with giving yourself pleasure? And again, let me be very clear. Absolutely, pleasure can be masturbation, but I also want you to be really, really open to pleasure being even what we talked about yesterday at Galentine's with like dry brushing and slowing down and like putting lotion on your body and or oil on your body and looking at your body and telling it thank you and like touching it and like so touch or even buying yourself flowers, things like that, right? So any of the things that bring you pleasure on a scale of 0 to 10, how comfortable or uncomfortable are you with that? You can just unmute yourself and just give me your number.
I'm gonna say 6, but I'm
Okay.
working towards 10 because
Yes.
I'm starting to really like
Yes.
giving it to myself.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Thanks, Whitney. And thanks for the honesty here, right? Because I love what you said. You're like, I'm at a 6, I'm working toward a 10. And I feel like sometimes when we've been so disconnected from our bodies or even touching ourselves or giving ourselves pleasure, it feels like we go from a 0 to a 10, right? Because it's like, I haven't done that, so I must be at a 10 now. But I love your honesty of like, I'm at a 6, meaning there's so much more here to explore and there's further for me to go. And where I am right now is feeling good, but I just want even more of that. Oh, I love that. Thank you. Britt, how are you feeling about your number on a scale of 0 to 10?
I would say I feel like an 8.
Awesome.
I was at a 5 at the beginning of the year, but I
Okay.
had it as a true sense of shedding the whole true snake aspect and going into the horse year of like I've got to do something every day to for myself, and it is
Good for
truly
you.
a pleasure aspect. But
I
I
love
was
it.
probably at the beginning of the year 5, but I would say I am wholeheartedly at an 8, and it feels good. It finally feels good to
Okay.
enjoy my own touch, my own lotioning, my own sensation, my own eating things. Like when you said buying flowers, I was like, oh, I've been buying myself my own little treats and my own little smoothies and my own little things here
Yeah.
and there because I deserve that, because that's for me. So I'm an 8.
I love it. I love it. Isn't it interesting too how it can go from like a 5 to an 8 like that fast? But
Mhm.
what you said that's really important, and this is the practice that we want to get to, is there's daily pleasure, finding pleasure in everything every day. In fact, I was having a conversation yesterday after I left the Galentine's lunch, and we were talking about how to literally flirt with life itself, to like make love with life itself. Like, how do we just you see, I mean, literally, like you see a baby, right? And that baby looks at you in that shopping cart and smiles, and you're just like all lit up. Or, or maybe there is like another woman and you see her, right? And you just compliment her, and there's this whole conversation about, oh, girl, and you're just all turned on and like feeling great because you two just had like an interaction. Or maybe it is with a male, and there's also this kind of flirting thing that happens, and it's just literally just pleasurable. There's no intention for anything sexual. And this is the piece that we really get to be aware of when we talk about pleasure, is separating pleasure equaling sex. Sure, it's one pillar, it's one part of it, it's one little piece of it. But you know this, as Esther Perel talks about, and many other sex doctors and people talking to us about how important it is to slow down the makeout. Slow it down. You all remember when you're in like a new thing with someone, and Jen, I know it's been so long, you're probably like, I don't even really remember, but I'm going to invite you to try to remember. But you remember when you're like, the makeout is so hot before the sex. It's like that you're kissing someone for so long and you're so turned on that you're just like, it's not going to take a lot. This is going to happen really fast, because I'm in my mind just almost saying, like, if you could just hurry up, because I am just going to come undone right now. This is the type of pleasure I am inviting you to go for. Like, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. And I invite you to be the boss of your bedroom, and invite the man or whomever is in that room with you to slow it down. Just, hey, slow it down. And you don't need, it's not about criticizing, because criticism kills turn on. It's not about criticizing, but it's about finessing and like the art of persuasion, seduction, whatever word you want to use there, to get it to slow down. Just slow it down. And if it's helpful to say in advance to the person that you're with, your partner, like, hey, let's practice something. And this would be a really cool Valentine thing to do. Let's practice something and let's slow it down. Let's slow everything down. Slow everything down. So, slowing it down, savoring it, taking your time. And then that translates into everything. When you put lotion on your skin, when you are putting your makeup on, when you are doing anything and everything in your life, what does it feel like to slow down? What does it feel like to savor? We've talked about this with Best Bites, and I don't think I could ever talk about it too much because we eat every single day, multiple times a day. How mindlessly do we get when we eat, where it's just like, I've got 10 minutes. I got to get this down because I got to get into the next appointment, or or I'm driving somewhere, or I've got to go do whatever else. And we're just like eating so fast. I'm going to invite you to even slow it down with eating and like swirl it in your mouth. Like the next bite you take today, the next bite that you put in your mouth, I want that first bite to be so sensual. I want you to swirl it in your mouth. I want you to taste all the flavors. I want you to have a ratatouille moment. Okay. You know, when ratatouille gets the saffron and is just like, blows his mind, just blows his mind because it's like, oh my gosh, the flavors, and everybody else is eating out of the garbage can. And he's just like, how could you, you know? So slow it down and savor, just savor it. Swirl it in your mouth. Jen, hold that drink in your mouth and just, yes, Queen, I see you doing it. It's that. Just slow it down. Slow it down. The word of the day is slow it down and savor. Jen, we talked about on a scale of 0 to 10, where are you as far as pleasure in your own life? Not coming from Brandon, not coming from anyone else, but like you giving yourself pleasure either through touch or whatever it might be. What's your number? 0 lowest, 10 highest.
Around a 6. It's something
Okay.
I try to take time, at least schedule it in.
I
Like,
love it. And I love that you said schedule, because here's the thing. This is what we know. Prioritize pleasure. We have to prioritize it. Prioritize your pleasure. Because just like everything in our lives, if it's not on our calendar, if it's not on our schedule, we just get busy. It's just the way it is. We have kids, we have jobs, we have big things going on. We have people calling us and texting us, and there's just like a lot going on, a lot. And we have good intentions, and we think about it when we think about it, right? But we're not always thinking about it. So pleasure is, I want you to think about pleasure as how you're returning to your body. Okay. So pleasure is, how do I return to my body? How often do I return to my body? When I do return to my body, what's my self-talk around it? Because that's a big one. We're not talking about returning to our bodies and then you get stuck on the thing that, look, trust me, I definitely go there when I'm like, oh yeah, time for a little bit of Botox, or like time for a little bit of something, right? A little bit of something. Great, right? Get some good, get some good hydration on that skin, and like maybe some eye patches, and do all those things. Like give yourself the thing that you need. But we get to be really careful and mindful to not get in a place of criticism and stay in that pleasure um, when you do that. Okay. So, reminder, 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 pleasure is not something that we're earning after the work is done, right? Pleasure is how the feminine stays resourced while living your life. That's a big one. Pleasure isn't like, oh yeah, I'll get to that. Oh yeah, I'll do that after the work is done. This is literally how you stay resourced while you're living your life. It's the thing that's going to light you up. It's the thing that's going to fuel you. It's the thing that's going to make your wild, busy, crazy life feel embodied. It's the thing that's going to get you out of your mind. It's truly, truly the thing that empowers you. It's the thing that's going to light you up. It's going to create radiance in your life. So then you're attracting more of what you want in your life. It's not a thing that you get to when you're all done with whatever you're doing. We already know this. We're never done. It's never finished and it's never over. It's like laundry, right? Is it ever done? Is it ever finished? Never, never. It's like never going to be done. So, my invitation to you is, be committed to daily pleasure. Okay? Be committed to daily pleasure. A woman who's disconnected from pleasure will eventually disconnect from herself. It's true. It's it's
that's
it's just
powerful. That's a
right.
powerful statement. Will you say that one more time?
Yeah, a woman disconnected from her pleasure will eventually disconnect from herself. You girls know, you can maybe look back and remember. Have you ever just like, okay, I'm just going to talk about me. So there have been like times in my life, and again, I don't get too caught up in this because I know that my body fluctuates and whatever, but there have been times that I've put on more weight and I literally notice that I'm touching my body less. Literally. I'm literally touching my body less. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I need a dry brush. I need to like touch that part of my body. It's almost like it dies. It's like there's not connection. There's not like it's not awake. It's like it's just like forgotten about. It's important. And again, I keep coming back to this example of putting lotion on your body because if you're putting lotion on your entire body from head to toe and you're doing it slowly and you're thanking your body for for each of those body parts, that is pleasure, that is self-touch, that is being connected to your body. So if the only thing you do every single day for pleasure is to slow it down and put and hydrate your entire body, great. 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 Practice that for 21 days and see how it makes you feel. It's powerful. Powerful. I did a 21 days of slowing down and hydrating my entire body from head to toe. I cried some days. I, especially because you're going through your cycle and you're just kind of like just different days. And I feel like the days that are the hardest are the days that I'm the most disconnected from my body because I'm just trying to not maybe get sad or feel or like not even on purpose. I think there's some kind of protective thing in us that is telling us subconsciously, I don't have time. Like, I don't have time to be upset. I don't have time to cry. I don't have time to feel this right now. Like, this is just like, it's inconvenient. Like, I'm on my way to a thing. I got something going on. Like, I don't have time for this. So great. Don't do it then, but maybe do it tonight, before you go to bed or after you get out of the bath. But if you do a 21-day head to toe hydration, see, I would love, love, love to hear what happens. Y'all up for the challenge? 21 days hydration. Let's do it. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. And again, it's just you reconnecting back. It's giving you an opportunity to not get too busy and disconnect from yourself. Um, so let's talk more about these different examples of pleasure because there's so many. And I don't want it to feel like you've got to be masturbating every day for pleasure. If you want to, you can. And by the way, when you I'm going to go here. I have you ever dedicated your orgasm to something? You want something in your life? If you're manifesting and calling something into your life, dedicate your orgasm to it. That is powerful. And even if it's been a while and you've done it, manifestation through an orgasm is so powerful. So powerful. Mama Gina talks about it in the book Pussy and talks about how powerful that is. How powerful that is. So just be intentional with your orgasms and they don't have to I mean, it's so amazing and they're so wonderful and we love them so much. And it's just like, oh my gosh, every time I have one, I'm like, why didn't I have this sooner? Like, why did I wait so long? What is happening? But we also have had those experiences in life where we're having less sex or we're just like not, it's just what it is. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I don't need to wait so long. So whether it's self-pleasure or whether it's with a partner, it doesn't matter. Whatever's happening in your life and whatever feels convenient for you, and you can dedicate and that orgasm to when you're with your partner, or you can do it on your own. It's not more powerful or less powerful whether you're partnered or not. but just intentional. So, um, I love that. Okay, so let's talk about the senses, right? Because when we talk about pleasure, it's all about the five senses, all of it. And the more we are aware of our five senses, the more aware we become of our five senses, right? So it's like um, those things like drinking your coffee slowly instead of multitasking. I mean, it's so simple. I do it all the time. I'm like, make the cup of coffee, then I'm doing my hair, then I'm doing whatever. But again, this theme today is slow it down. So maybe it's not with everything you do. Maybe you're still going to drink your coffee and be, you know, driving to an appointment or at the office or whatever you're doing, or like, but also, what if one day a week you choose to drink your coffee slowly instead of multitasking, and that's your pleasure for the day? Also, we talked about wrapping yourself in a robe after you do your dry brushing and the whole experience, which, Jen, is your office in Draper? I'm going to swing. How late are you there?
It's in Sandy, and
How long?
I'm here all day today.
Okay, I'm going to swing by and bring you your Galentine gift.
Oh,
It's a dry brush and some oil and stuff. So
okay.
that so now when I'm talking about it, it'll just feel like,
Okay.
yeah.
I love
So
it. Okay, I'll
so
send you the address.
okay, thank you. So even that of like doing your dry brushing routine, and or even if you didn't do the dry brushing routine, but like wrapping yourself in a robe that feels like beautiful on your skin. When's the last time you got a new robe? When's the last time you got a new silky robe? That silky robe on your skin feels so good. I'll tell you, I have a terry cloth robe that's so warm, and I have a silky robe. One feels more pleasurable than the other. It's just, that's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. They have different uses, right? I like my thicker one for after I do my dry brushing because I'm all oily and I want to warm up and I want to get like warm, which is great. And that's so pleasurable. But if I'm just like in the mood to feel like just gorgeous and beautiful and sensual, I like the silky one. So wrapping yourself in a robe. Um, this one is so simple, but it felt really good to me to do the other day. And if you haven't done it in a while, opening a window and just letting fresh air come in. There's nothing better than just getting out that old, stagnant, stale winter kind of energy in your home and just let that fresh air come in and just like let it move the energy in your house. You can feel the difference. It's like palpable. Like that's a sense that we can actively turn on. We know this lighting candles. I love it so much. There's nothing I love more than my home to smell great or to just have like candles lit. Yeah, Jen.
Yeah, I want to know. You always have the best links for. I have a short silk robe that you gave me, but I like a cozy,
Okay.
longer one that I can feel all the way down my legs. So if you'll send a link for that, that would be awesome.
Yep.
Because I
So
have a really cozy, thick one, but anyways,
okay, I'm
always
gonna
have the best
okay.
links.
I got you. Yep, I got you. Y'all, in fact, I'll send you a link. I have a Amazon favorites thing that has a link to like my favorite things and my skincare things that I like. And what's cool is like a lot of times things are on sale, which I love. Like the other day, one of my favorite things was like 27% off and it was sending me a thing. I was like, oh, great, now's a good time to buy that, even if I'm not completely out of it. So yeah, I'll send you a list of favorites. Um, but candles. And if you haven't gotten candles in a long time or something in your home, like a diffuser or something like that, it just feels yummy when you walk in your house and you're just like, oh, it smells so good in here, right? It's just like, oh, I love the way that smells. Um, so think about that. Another one that I've already talked about, but it's on my list, so I wanted to bring it up, is like eating sitting down. I know this is like we eat on the go so often. We're like standing up, talking, eating, or like multitasking while we're eating. Again, it's just a thing. So back in the day, I learned this one in my nutrition class, and I'll never forget it. Sitting down actually compacts the space in your abdomen and in your stomach. So when you sit down and eat, you actually feel the fullness faster and differently than you would if you're standing up. So sit down when you eat because you're actually going to feel the satisfaction of feeling, satisfied or full more accurately than you would if you're standing up because there's more space. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, you sit down, you're like, oh, maybe I overdid it. So sitting down, slowing down, I'm going to say it 25 times, slow down, slow down. We're just going to keep slowing everything down because pleasure lives in the moments when we stop rushing. Have you ever felt pleasure in rushing? I mean, I'm going to take it back to like an orgasm or like making out again. If it's too fast, I'm just like, I'm already checked out. I'm like, you're trying to get there too fast. Now I'm not even turned on. Like, just slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. If you think you're going slow, go slower, right? Just slow it down. Just always, always slow it down because that's where the pleasure is. It's in those moments. Um, Another thing that's really beautiful that I like to remind myself for pleasure is leaving some margin in my calendar. So it's not always so rushed. Do you know what I mean? My calendar gets pretty booked, and I'll look at it one morning and I'll have 3 sessions back to back to back to back to back. And I've really been consciously giving myself even 15-minute buffers in between to just like get a drink or take a deep breath or clear my energy from one, you know, call to the next or set an intention for the next call, right? And just like creating a little bit of space in your calendar, 5 minutes. It doesn't need to be a lot. I mean, Jen, I'm thinking about you right now, just even before you walk into the room with a new client, if you were just like to take one cleansing breath on purpose, like, and then walk in, right? Like it's these tiny little moments of a pause and to just like clear and enter or just a little bit of space, a little bit of space. Here's a big one. And this falls into pleasure because it it really is about us choosing to just not over explain ourselves when we say no. And I get it. This is a tricky one, right? Because you can see the look on the person's face, or you can almost sense them wanting to know, but why? What, but why? And so here's a way I like to say it. I would really like to, but it doesn't work right now. And so then it's not just a hard no, but it's like, oh, I would really love to, but it's not going to work right now. And then be okay with that. You don't have to explain that I got to go get my kids or whatever. You can always tell when someone's like, when someone gives you like 5 excuses why they can't do it, and you're like, oh, well, now you're just trying to find excuses for why you're not doing it. You're like, it would have been fine with just one thing. Like, I didn't need you to tell me. I had someone do this yesterday, and I was like, oh, I would love to come to your Galentine's, but I have this thing in Park City tomorrow night. And I'm like, well, it's actually not at night. It's during the afternoon. Oh, well, I have da 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 da. It's just like, I actually don't even care what your excuse is. Like, if you want to come and it lights you up, come. If it doesn't feel like a hell yes, don't come. It doesn't matter. But I think that we're used to giving excuses as women to like over explain and over justify our no because we think we're trying it's somehow going to make the other person feel better. But when we as women stop over explaining, it gives other women permission to do the same. So let's stop over explaining here, okay? um Another space filler, another thing is, even just when we do have a little bit of quiet time, to not have the first thing we do is pick up our phone. Even if for just 3 breaths, even if you pick it up and you're like, oh yeah, hold on. What do I actually really need right now? And ask yourself that because grabbing the phone is habitual, scrolling is habitual, there's going to be something good there. It's why we get on. We're not saying there's not going to be something that we don't get entertained by. Of course we will. But just that pause, that power of the pause before we pick up our phone to just ask ourselves, like, what do I actually need right now? It's another opportunity to go within and tune in before we go out again and before we have the input coming at us instead of self-sourcing or asking ourselves. So give yourself that opportunity to just pause for just a moment. I also really like to do this before I enter into a room or the house, like before I get out of my car when I get home, just like stopping and pausing for a minute, just like taking a big deep breath and saying, okay, what do I need right now? Or perhaps it could be like just this check-in, these check-ins we do of like, okay, on the scale of 0 to 10, what's my energy level right now? Okay, maybe it's like only at a 5. Okay, well, what's one thing I could do right now that would give me a little bit more energy or focus before I walk in the door? And honestly, usually it's just like taking some big deep breaths, some cleansing breaths, and just like letting the day go, or letting that conversation go, or letting that thing you just read go. Um, we always have those texts on our phone from a friend or someone who's struggling, always. And even after reading those texts, it's really helpful to do a cleansing breath and to just be like, okay, right? Like, I hear her, I love her, I'm holding space for that. And I don't want to keep thinking about this and having it consume my mind and my day with like concern or trying to solve the problem for her or trying to, be resourceful in some way. But again, all of these things are like little bitty subtle things that are going to keep bringing us back, keep bringing us back, keep bringing us back instead of having our mind or our energy somewhere else. I've talked about this before and it's coming up again, so I'm just going to say it. Remember how I said how powerful it is to call all parts of yourself back to you? That practice, you will notice how scattered you are. And if you're in the business of client work or parenting or literally just being human, when we get through the day, the further we go, the more scattered we are. It's like, oh, a little piece of me is at that meeting, a little piece of me is in that conversation, a little piece of me is thinking about when I'm going to pick someone up, a little piece of me is thinking about what we're going to do on Valentine's, a little piece of me is thinking about what's for dinner, a little piece of me is thinking about that thing I need to order online, right? There's just like all these parts of us that are just like, what it's like is open tabs. Okay. Think about it like this. It's like you have all these open tabs. And when you call all parts of yourself back to you, it's just like closing down the tabs. You're going to start all over and you're going to open up all those tabs again, which is fine. But at least now you don't have, they're not just like open all the time, just like running, 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 running. Think about your laptop or your computer. If all the tabs are open, your battery's going to die faster. But if you close the tabs, even if you open them back up later, you're going to use less battery. So think about yourself as the battery and all those tabs are open. And so when you call all parts of yourself back to you, you're just shutting down some of that energy and holding your energy longer. So remember that. And so pleasure often begins where urgency ends. So anything that's feeling urgent is going to not be aligned with anything pleasurable, that's for sure. Because again, urgency, the word is like right now, fast, got to do it fast. And pleasure, we go back to that. Slow it down, just slow it down, slow it down. Um, I think most of us are doing this, but just a reminder of making your skincare a ritual instead of a routine, you know, and whatever that gets to be. However, you want to make that into a ritual, you can. I think it's important um, for you to make it personal, really, really personal. Even slowing it down and taking a bath and just being in the bath and like not really doing anything, I've noticed myself and I get pretty quickly squirrely. Like I'm laying there for a while and I'm loving it for a while and I'm even saying a while, this is like minutes. And then it's like I want to pop up and do the next thing. It's like, girl, lay back down, you're fine. Just take another minute here. But it's just fascinating to notice ourselves, right? And so the point I want to make here is that you're gonna keep going back to fast. It's the default. It's the programming. It's how we're hardwired to get shit done and get a lot of shit done. And the more shit we get done, the more productive we feel. And it's like today was a good day because I got all of this done. Yes, and we're practicing slowing it down. And even if it's in the small moments, right? So you can still get all that done and take a little extra time in between things, slow some things down just a little bit. We're talking like minutes here, not hours, just minutes, just a couple of minutes a day. Remember to touch your body with care. And the way you touch your own body teaches your nervous system what you are available for. This is big. This is a nervous system thing. So, this is part of why we want to do this and why it's so important to just slow it down. Pleasure is not just physical, it's the nervous system feeling safe enough to open up. So remember that. This this nervous system part of us, and this is what we're going to go into probably next, not this Sunday, but probably next, y'all. I'm just thinking out loud. I'll send you a thing. I'll let you know. Maybe it's the one after that. I'll let you know. Anyway, um, this piece of this nervous system piece is literally the default. The nervous system is connected to your subconscious and it's connected to old things, old trauma, old stuff. So even when we're well intentioned, and even when we know this, even when we have this conversation, even when we're checking in on like where we are as far as pleasure in our lives, we know it. We have the knowledge. I didn't teach you a bunch of big aha stuff today. What I did is I brought you back to pleasure and remembering why pleasure empowers us and why it's important. And I want you to notice that the reason we get out of the habit of it is because of our nervous system. So every time we slow it down, every time we connect with our body, it really is teaching our nervous system to calm down and open up a little bit and giving that. A couple of other just quick things before we get off, but I am going to slow it down in the spirit of slowing down. Eye contact. Eye contact is really beautiful. Um, Letting support in when someone offers, we know this, that's such of that receiving, right? Pleasure grows in environments where we do not have to perform. So just allowing us to just be. Um, and self-trust is is I would say self-trust is probably the deepest pleasure available to women. Trusting that your body's speaking to you, trusting that your body's responding in a way that feels good, trusting that your body knows what it needs. And so allowing yourself to just slow it down. You don't need to earn pleasure. There are lots and lots and lots of ways that you can give it to yourself in your life every day. Your body already knows what feels good. So, embodiment is the practice of listening. It already knows. And this is where you will teach your body and teach yourself to trust yourself. So, here's one question I want you to think about before we go. Where in your life are you rushing past what could be enjoyed? Where in your life are you rushing past what could be enjoyed? And then if you want to take this a little bit deeper, what would it look like this week to linger there instead. What would it look like to just linger there a little bit longer? And this is where pleasure becomes lived, not just conceptual, not just something that we talk about. So pleasure is not a reward for finishing your life. It's how you experience your life while you are living it. The embodied feminine does not wait for permission to feel good. You've already given yourself permission for pleasure. So now you just get to embody it. Fully, fully, fully embody it. Fully take it on. And this being the week of Valentine's is the most beautiful time to remember to go buy yourself flowers if you want flowers. Go buy yourself a scented candle. Draw a bath for yourself and put rose petals in it if that's what you want. Get a new perfume if that feels fun and exciting. Go buy some new perfume. When's the last time you got new perfume? A silk robe, which I'll send links to some things, okay? Some of my favorite things. But I want you to just pour into yourself and make pleasure a daily priority. Daily priority. And we're going to do this 21-day full body moisture experience together and just see how that goes, head to toe. Just notice. You're going to love your skin after. I'll tell you that. You're going to love it. It's going to be so soft. And this is a great time to do it because it's winter and we're just dry and we need more hydration. So I love you girls. Thank you so much for showing up today. Thank you for being here. I've told you that I would send you several things over, which I will. And let's get on Marco Polo. Let's check in with each other. Let's have some real talk about just what's going on in your life and like what's challenging, what's feeling, like maybe you want to have more of a discussion around. I like having that platform for wins. And I also like having that platform for like, what are some of the things that are up in your life that you just kind of want to talk about, and let's talk about it. So love you all. Thank you for being here.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.